Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's topic is going to be about the fall off of Hamza and what's going on with that situation. For starters, I was a big fan of Hamza when I first started self-improvement back in 2022. I remember it was around that time where I found out his channel, and he reminded me of a friend that moved off to Miami, and he lives off in a very successful life, and he is someone that really takes good care of himself and does the best where he can for himself, and is financially well off and is in good state and good hands and stuff like that. And yeah, it's crazy to see this happening to Hamza, and I do believe that a lot of stuff that is going on is pretty ballsy for the time being. And yeah, I do believe that this is crazy. For starters, I mean, Hamza was someone I used to really look up to as like an older brother. And yeah, just really thought of him as someone that's really special and someone that's like super cool to be with. And just the energy he brought up to his channels. And the self-improvement thing was very new at the time. And around 2022, I remember seeing that his videos on journaling. He got me into journaling. He got me into like clearing my thoughts. He got me onto no fap. He got me into like being more dedicated, more serious into the gym. Because before I had fun with it, but then 2022, that's when I started to really lock in and get lean and see myself become more of a better version of myself. And it was all thanks to him. I used to watch his videos all the time. I tuned into that stuff like it was a daily episode of my favorite show. Like I really loved about just self-improvement, because around 2022, I was roughly 22 years old. I was embarking on a new journey, and I wanted to feel like I had a purpose. And I think that's a big thing a lot of guys resonate with self-improvement, is just finding a purpose and wanting to feel like they have a belonging in society and someone that can stand out and be a leader and be someone that's better than majority of the average people, the top 1%, as a lot of alpha males and a lot of red pill YouTubers were talking about back in the day. Just being the top 1% of men in the atmosphere and wanting to be more successful. And I do believe that, yes, it is possible, but just seeing how far the atmosphere of all this stuff, the manosphere, kind of fell down is, to me, one of the craziest things ever. Yeah, for starters, the fall of the manosphere is one of those things where, like, you kind of go back and you're like, they used to be, yeah, just switch up with the manosphere and just seeing how much that kind of degraded into how it is now. Like, people don't really take it seriously. Like, just trying to be an alpha male nowadays seems like you're doing too much as a person. And to me, yeah, trying to outprove yourself and outdo yourself, and just not being true to your character. Yes, I do believe that is something of an extent where it's like, if that's not who you are as a person, where you're not, trying to be flashy and doing all the most, it's just not you. But red pill and, to be the 1% is just to do what's better for you and to be able to kind of see yourself in the future and put yourself in a position where in the future you could look back on yourself now and be like, I am proud of where I've been at and I'm proud of what I'm doing. That's the message I've got out of Hamza in a positive way back in the day. And just seeing the sacrifices you have to make and the sacrifices he made throughout his journey just to get where he was at. Because I know he moved out of his parents' home, and there's family issues, and he lived out doing his own thing, and then he ended up experiencing stuff in college and university. Then he was like a degenerate, like how we all were guys. I used to be a degenerate myself too. Like, I used to be out in clubs partying and stuff like that and having all kinds of fun and just chasing women and trying to chase sex and stuff like that. And it gets to a point where it's like you don't find any purpose with that and you get bored with it. It's just like, even when you have sex with a very attractive woman, I say, very attractive, it's like it doesn't feel fulfilling, and you feel that void in your heart start to grow even more as throughout time goes on. So it's just like this time to go back, fall through, and find something better for yourself. And that was something that really resonated with me when I used to watch Hamza and stuff like that back in the day. Just finding your own purpose and finding yourself. And then he eventually moved back home and lived with his parents, and started a YouTube career and started making YouTube videos daily and talking about self-improvement. He used to do calisthenics outside and talking about, raising your testosterone. And then, oh my goodness, and then the Jeffrey versus Adonis videos, or the Adonis versus Jeffrey videos. Like, Adonis was like this guy, this male figure, this man that you all wanted to inspire to be like, who is high testosterone, chiseled jawline, abs and everything like that. Just this Greek god, perfect vision of a man. And then you have Jeffrey, which is the average guy, the guy that doesn't get any attention, no respect at all, nothing good coming to him or anything like that. And when he made those videos, those two comparison videos and stuff like that, that used to be something where I thought it was very funny, and it was kind of creative. It reminded me of like how, YouTube back in the day with Newgrounds and stuff like that, were Ego Raptor too, when they was just the creativeness behind it was something that like resonated with me. I really thought it was funny, but realistic too. But just Adonis was this guy, this male figure that we all wanted to be in our own very unique way in life. And that's something that we can relate to. But yeah, now, unfortunately, I'm here to talk about what happened with his editor and, with Hamza and stuff like that. So Hibernator is, one of his editors that, was with him the whole time, helping him make those videos and stuff like that. And, he played a big role in making the Adonis versus Jeffrey videos. And recently made a video that came out talking about like how Hamza is not the character that we all thought he was, or the person that we all thought he was, and that he was playing a facade, a character, and now he was trying to do him wrong. And it's just like, damn, it's like unfortunate, because it's like, in this day and age, I believe that, heroes are, it's just people that we look up to either do some stupid shit and, they, in a way, it's just like they're not who you make it seem they are, or it's just like, damn, like kind of not good people. And then I watched the video, I'm gonna get to the video, he was bringing out some good points where just like Hamza's actions towards, him, Hibernator, just changing his ways and just being his own man and just doing his own thing. And Hamza didn't like that. Hamza wanted him to still be like his little editor, the person that still follows him around, but then he wanted, Hibernator wanted to go do his own thing, and he wanted to be his own man. Yeah, and Sam, Hibernator, the editor, pretty much was giving off a lot of good details about the video he made, and, had to really get a lot of strategic points that he pointed out, saying Hamza was just using a tactic to, make him seem like the victim, and then like, oh, Sam was going to change, and he did all this stuff, and it's just like, it's kind of sucks seeing that, I was your favorite YouTuber, but Sam did bring out a lot of good, like, manipulation tactics that a lot of YouTubers would pull off, where they're doing an apology video or a video that's kind of discussing about something or someone, where they, obviously cut out a lot of points to, cover up the story and stuff like that. But then Sam is here kind of like filling in the blanks so it can make more audible sense to the viewer that's watching. Make more sense to the viewer that's watching, and trying to piece together what's going on with the situation. But yeah, from the perspective of Sam, it seemed like he was someone that's really good friends with Hamza. And I can tell that from the videos from 2020, I believe 2022 to 23, when they went out to Thailand and stuff like that, Sam was someone that really was changing and stuff like that, and, getting more out of a shell and becoming his own man. And, it kind of sucks hearing that he had to go through that, or the friendship went down that route, while going along. Yeah, it's just very unfortunate that the friendship took that route, because, it just sucks where you have good friends, you are good friends with somebody, and then unfortunately there's drama that's in between, and it's like a dispute, either someone becoming more successful, as Sam was pointing out, towards Hamza getting jealous over, Sam's friend, someone they knew they brought over, and, Hamza getting jealous. And, when it comes to guys and jealousy and friendships, I think that's one of the number one killers of any friends or any relationships, just in general, because the envious person can kind of just take their own opinion and just oversaturate how basically they're feeling and stuff like that. And, no matter you try to be logical, it's just whatever they feel like greed, like, oh, this person's doing more better than me, and this person getting more attention than me, this person's getting more girls and stuff like. It's just like that inner greed that will build up, and then it'll kind of lash out into your friends or relationships in any kind of way. And it sucks that, you know, Sam was discussing about that in that video, responding to Hamza, and I was just like, damn, bro, like it's unfortunate it took that route, because I was in friends that a lot of friendships that like took that route, and it's very unfortunate to see that. But you know, from that high caliber of where they're at, you know, Sam and Hamza and, you know, everybody else doing YouTube and stuff like that, you know, they're pretty big people. So it's just in that industry, a lot of stuff like that's probably going to take down just how you respond to it. I think that's like the biggest thing, going after it. But
bit embarrassing, but it was a fucking long trek.
Response off of Sam's video and stuff, I thought that was really well put together, well edited, and, you know, really understandable for the
but we
kind
are
of
pretty
person
tired.
to
We're
pick
pretty
up
low
on the
on
story
water
and
as
read
well
on
at
it.
this point. So after a little bit, the group
just really
all
just
agrees
seeing,
together,
where that stuff is
including
going.
Hamza, that it's time to
I
leave.
think it's
But
really
before
cool,
we
but,
leave,
you know, it's
Jack
just
spots a
unfortunate,
girl
like,
that
you
he
know,
wants
with
to
a
go
lot
and
of
talk
red
to.
pillars,
We all agree. That's fine, Jack.
you
Go
know,
get a number,
YouTubers
and then we'll
these
leave.
coaches and stuff like that.
Bear
Like
in
when it
mind,
first came
Hamza's
out,
here for this
it's someone
entire
inspired to be
conversation.
like,
Jack
but then
finishes
like life
talking to the girl.
changes.
It takes around 3
And
minutes. That's
you know,
fine.
they
All right,
end up
guys,
not
let's
being,
go. But then,
you know, as wholesome as you
all of a
wanted them to
sudden,
be, or the
Hamza
heroes that you
pipes
thought
up
they
and says,
were.
"Oh, wait,
Or maybe
guys,
this
I
is a
wanna go
part
talk
of
to these girls."
the
And we're like,
you know, self-improvement
okay.
journey that
Hamza went down
Hamza
there.
was preaching
He was
out, and that
talking,
just in
talking,
general,
talking. We're
that
like,
you're not perfect,
hello?
and you're not, you
and
know,
it was taking a while, so we
you're
started
not
shouting
like
down
the
to him,
saint that everyone
"Hamza,
thinks
we
you
want
are.
to
Of
go.
course,
Come
it
on,
doesn't
let's go."
excuse him
Hamza
from
looked
making
over at us,
mistakes and doing
didn't
all this
acknowledge us at all,
drama
and
stuff.
then just
If he
carried
did
on
do
talking.
that, you
We
know,
did this
if he
another
really
2
did do all that
times
stuff,
before we just agreed to
it's my own
leave because he
opinion,
was
but
clearly
yeah, it's just
having
like,
an enthralling
it just
conversation.
sucks with the
So enthralling
self-improvement
that he
thing
had
it's
to
becoming.
disrespect
And
the
now it's
entire
more
group's time and completely
smaller
ignore
YouTuber
us.
channels
And when I
that
finished the
are
conversation
kind of
with
speaking
them, I
out on
turned
self-improvement
around.
throughout their
My
own experience,
friend
not
and
because
the one or
they
two other
became
guys I
famous, but
thought were
because
my
they
friends,
have
they had
they're
already
everyday
started
people,
walking back
want
down
to
the
be
waterfall.
better than
And so I just
everyday
walked
people.
the
They want to be
entire
something
way down by
extraordinary,
myself, like
and
there's
they're willing to put
45
up
minute
a
hike
message
just
and
by myself
the
because
words
they
of
didn't
wisdom
wait
and
for me.
experience
the way
to
out.
others, to inspire the
It'll come
people.
soon
So,
enough. Oh,
you know, we can
let me
all
get
grow
on
and
film.
form our own
This
community
is
and
what
become
Hamza
something more
turned into his
tangible,
grand
more
emotional
stronger
betrayal
as a
story.
unity.
This is
And I
what
do
he
believe
built
that is
his
possible, and that's
entire
the whole
"they used me"
important thing about
narrative
self-improvement.
around,
It's
where
not
he
about being flashy,
monstrously
but being
claims
having
that I
something with
was
a message.
no longer
And
loyal to him
I think it's
because he
transitioned
wasn't
from big
paying me. Just to
YouTubers
remind
and
you,
all
I've
kind of
not
stuff like
worked
that,
for or
where
been
these
paid
coaches
by
and
Hamza
YouTubers,
for
and it's
nearly
more
3
towards
years now.
these smaller
And
channels that are
despite that, I
dominating on
still
YouTube right now. As
showed
you can see,
a frankly
everybody on the platform is
incredible level
kind of great.
of
I like the
restraint
car
in
videos.
my
I
last
stopped
video.
doing it because,
I
you
didn't
know,
attack him, I didn't
nobody was really
retaliate,
paying
I didn't
attention to
talk
that.
shit about
But
his business model
you
or
know,
anything
but
like that, even
you know,
though
I
he
was
did
spitting
to
facts
me,
on it. You
even
know,
when he
I
tried
honestly
to
like doing
destroy
car
my
videos because it's just
reputation
like I like
and
to talk
take
about
food off my
my
plate.
my
Oh shit,
problems. I like to
it was
put
all about
solutions
money.
in those
But
problems. See, I don't
now-
like complaining about my problems. See, that's
Enough.
well, yo,
Let me ask you
you
something.
can talk about your
Why do you think
problems.
Hamza stands in
Just
front of
call
the frame? Yeah?
bitching and
He'd been watching me
complaining,
film.
bitching and no, I don't. I don't bitch and complain. Shit, when I sing, shit, it ain't gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be something different. Shit, you know, I'll be like, no, like I'm going through this, but I learned from this experience, and then this is what you gotta do to get better. That's it. Straight to the point. None of this, oh man, like this tough. This shit hard, bro. None of that goofy shit. You know, making sure I have a positive message on every video. But I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you guys for listening, and make sure you guys like and subscribe and keep up with the channel. And that's it. You guys take care. Peace.